You already know Alfred saved England, but you don't know who he actually was. He was the fifth son. He was never supposed to be king. His four older brothers were. One by one, the Vikings killed them all. Alfred was left. He suffered from a painful illness his entire life. Historians still argue over what it was: Crohn's disease, chronic pain, something that left him doubled over and unable to move for days at a time. This was the man who was supposed to stop the most feared fighting force in Europe. By 878, he had nothing. His kingdom had collapsed. He was hiding in the Somerset marshes at a place called Athelney, a scrap of dry land surrounded by swamp. The story says a peasant woman took him in. She didn't know who he was. She asked him to watch her cakes by the fire. He burned them. She scolded the king of Wessex, and he sat there and took it. That's the moment most people remember, but it's what came next that matters. Alone in that swamp, Alfred didn't plan an escape. He planned a country. He sent riders across Wessex in secret. Every man who could hold a weapon, every man who still believed. 7 weeks later, they came. Thousands of them, farmers, blacksmiths, ordinary men who chose to fight. At Edington, Alfred didn't just beat the Vikings. He broke them, a shield wall that held until the Danish line collapsed. Then he chased them for 14 miles and besieged their camp for 2 weeks until they surrendered. And then he did something no one expected. He let them live. He baptized their king, Guthrum. He gave them land, the Danelaw, and said, "Stay on your side, I'll stay on mine. Build something, we'll live alongside each other. Peace through strength, not slaughter." But Alfred wasn't finished. He looked at his kingdom and saw a country that had nearly been destroyed because it wasn't prepared. So he rebuilt everything. He designed a network of fortified towns, burhs, placed so that no one in Wessex was ever more than a day's march from safety. The first national defense system in English history. He built ships, longer, faster, higher-sided than the Viking longships, the first English navy. He rewrote the law, not just rules, a code rooted in justice. He studied the laws of every Saxon kingdom that came before him and pulled out the best of each. Then he added something radical for the time: mercy. But the thing that set him apart from every other medieval king, he could barely read until he was 12. When he finally learned, it changed him. He translated books from Latin into English himself. Philosophy, history, theology. Not because scholars needed them, because he believed ordinary people deserved to understand the world they lived in. He wrote, "I desired to live worthily as long as I lived, and to leave after my life, to the men who should come after, a remembering of me in good works." A king who was never meant to rule, who was sick, outnumbered, and hiding in a swamp. He built a navy, a legal system, a national defense, a culture of learning. He is the only English monarch ever called the Great. Not Henry, not Elizabeth, not Victoria, Alfred. Before him, there was no England. After him, there could be. These stories don't tell themselves. They survive because people like you decide they matter. No corporate backing, no agenda, just ordinary people who believe we deserve to know who we are. Learn more about who we are at proudofus.co.uk/about. Be part of us. Be proud of us.